Hello YouTube and welcome to episode 4 of my Frieren Beyond Journey's End reaction series, back here again today for some more Frieren. So last week we tackled episodes 2 and 3, kind of expanding out the relationship between Frieren and Fern a little bit more, and kind of just getting a little bit of structure, this kind of vignette style, if that's even a word, where we're going to see little moments in time, where we're not going to follow every waking moment, and putting the focus more on things that are actually, important and evocative and all these other things, right? So looking forward to more of that this week. I'm just going to pop the YouTube comments up there and give them a quick read. First up, we have Airwave. Nice red herring, Vincent Lullyman threw at you. I'm guessing this was a comment last week. Technically not wrong, but well, not a full-blown one yet. However, you'll get it later in the show. Is this about the funeral stuff? Let me check. Yeah, it was. So, a red herring. Okay. We're keeping an eye on it. I'm unsure if that's a red herring or not. Either way, like, this is kind of fucking with me, so maybe don't say such things. But anyway, we'll say. I've still got my opinions of what I think is going to go on in this show. Next comment here, Cochin. Oh no, you hit us with the Cheerio on Frieren as well. Yeah, if you didn't know, Katanagatari, we've got a Cheerio thing going on, because one of the characters uses it as a catchphrase. And yeah, we're going to be carrying that one through. I actually quite like a little bit of Cheerio. End of video, say Cheerio. That's how we're going to do it. Next comment here from Shinsasu. Almost always in anime, the Japanese names have some deeper double meaning or puns. Now with the German names here, I can finally get all these on the first watch. Oh, because are you German? Okay, that would make sense. So here are some translations of names we've had so far. Frieren, freezing, as in like the feeling, so as in feeling cold. So not as like the process of turning water to ice, but more like I'm feeling cold today. Okay, sure. Himmel, sky and heaven. This makes a whole lot of sense with Himmel, right? Because he's fucking dead. And he always puts his sword to the sky quite often, I feel like, as well. Heiter means cheerful, but there's also a second meaning, a type of weather, which the word would be fair. Okay, so yeah, connecting it to the sky as well. A lot of weather stuff and temperature and seasons and that kind of stuff going on right now. But cheerful definitely matches as well, because, he drinks a lot and he's generally pretty cheerful, I think. Eisen means iron. That one's kind of easy. We'll say. I'm got some predictions around Eisen that may happen this episode, we'll say. And Fern is far, as in far away or distant. I guess I kind of see that. Kinda. She's in a faraway land, and her personality is not exactly in your face. But we'll keep an eye on it for sure. Some side character stuff. We have Qual meaning torment, and then Ewig meaning eternal. Gotcha. Interesting. So that was, yeah, the guy from the third episode. I don't think the spell names have real meanings. Zultrak, Soltrak, sure, for this additional reply. But it just sounds like some fancy magic bullshit, I think. So it kind of works for me, I guess. So yeah, I mean, like, we're writing this from a Japanese perspective, so they're going to use this same philosophy where they're going to take names that have meaning. So keeping an eye on all of these things as we move forward. Might even be a good thing to copy down and put in some kind of file set if I had one. Last comment here today from Beatrice Oliveira. You should be getting OP and ED subtitles from episode 5 onwards, which is good. So the first 4 episodes, again, you watch them all in a row. Wouldn't need that OP ED in the same way that everything else would. So we'll say. One thing I find nice is that in the ED you can see flowers clearly represent Himmel, Fern, and the redhead boy and ginger woman from the OP. Okay, clearly see flowers in the ED. It makes me think about the discourse I've been hearing about how Frieren, having such a long life, views these humans around her. Some people were comparing it to the guy in Invincible, who lives a long time. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I should watch the second season of Invincible. That would be good. I liked Invincible season 1. But yeah, similar feeling for sure with oh my god, what's his name? Omni-Man. There you go. We did it. Yeah, but as represented by flowers is the main point here, right? Something fleeting but beautiful, or at least Frieren's memories of them are like flowers. Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's part of the metaphor for sure. Like, flowers will grow and be very beautiful for a short amount of time, but eventually wilt away. Kind of like Frieren's perspective on them, if we're being that blunt about it. But yeah, just those 5 comments this week. I guess quick recap of last week. We're just kind of on the road with Fern, just kind of moving around. Frieren's kind of retracing the journey that she took with Himmel in a lot of ways, but in a lot of other ways, she's just going around collecting magical stuff, which again has its own emotional meaning to it, but they're just wandering, and Fern's learning. That's the way I'm seeing it at the moment. I want to talk about, I guess, the way it's been described to me multiple times now, is that the first 4 episodes are somewhat like a prologue, right? And 4 episodes came out at once, so that's only natural, right? That's why I think episode 4 today is a good stopping point, because I could be like, okay, now I'm done with the prologue. Next week I can move on to the real shit, maybe do a couple. But yeah, what does that mean, prologue? Does it mean prologue in a story sense, in that the real plot thread of the story hasn't started up yet and we're just kind of introducing concepts? Does that mean that there is a big bad on the horizon that potentially we need to go get at? Is this the kind of show that would have a big bad, that would disrupt the peace that has been reigning on this land for however long after the Demon King was defeated? Or are we talking about a prologue in the sense that we haven't met all the characters yet? So Redhead Boy, where's Redhead Boy? Are we going to meet Redhead Boy in episode 4? That makes sense to me. Redhead Boy features prominently in the opening. You would think Redhead Boy is very, very close by, which I think means Eisen is close by, and those are the characters we may look at here today. Also, I've been rambling long enough that the episode is finally downloaded, so we can actually get into it, because I have the organization skills of, I don't know, somebody bad at organizing things. Either way, just some chill stuff before we jump into episode 4 here today. So if you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord, join Discord. Love Discord, 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 Discord. And now we're going to jump into episode 4 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End right now. As always, I have a very bright first frame of Frieren Beyond Journey's End, episode 4, up there ready to go. 25 minutes and 59 seconds on this one, so just about that 26 minutes. Sync up accordingly with your copy. As always, there will be the picture-in-picture version in the description below, as well as using kind of the subs please version. I don't know if they're Crunchyroll. They're probably Crunchyroll. They're pretty close to what everybody else should be seeing anyway. And yeah, we're just going to give it a 3, 2, 1. Radio? 3, 2, 1. Go. Back into the opening again. I guess I've got to factor that in when I say 26 minutes, huh? Like, pretty much always, like, there's an OPED. But I mean, that's the way with most things. It's only really 20 minutes of content. Anyway. I digress. We're jumping back into the world of Frieren. I didn't check that the subs won, but I would imagine they are. Let me just check. Yes. Most stuff has them on by default, if they're, like, any good at all. I remember there was one where I had, like, multiple languages. I forget which show it was, but I always had to put them on and I always forgot. I think I said this last week, too. It's hot as shit today. I don't know, something about recording Frieren. Like, it's 8:30 a.m. and yeah, very, very hot day it's going to be. Hence the fan. Hence the everything, really. Got my door wide open. Alright. Now, how about where are we? Okay, now, I think that's another year. And you're always centering around Himmel. Okay. Okay, we're cleaning the beach. I know, because I was here. What's some magic shit? I'll take it. He was mentioned before. I feel like that was in the very intro. Phlegm. There you go, character development. Because I want to see the beach nice. Like it used to be. True. She has a bit of an obsessive streak, for sure. But that's okay. Thank you. The passage of time. It's like a Japanese thing in cold, right? The hate being cold. Quick. Literally me? I think she's literally me. Do some friggin' work. Come on. Again, who's the real adult here? As always. Yeah. I think the winter really gets to her. I'll say that. Who would get you up? Yeah, good point. The animation's really cute. Yeah, get out of bed. Oh, okay. There you go, she's awake now. You gotta push. I get the feeling we will be able to do that. There's still a fuck ton there. I think that's customary in a lot of places. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, great point. Okay, alright, that's awesome. That's taking something that I thought was just, like, nothing and turning it into more emotive content. And here comes our customary musical montage as well. And as I said last week, if the music's good and the montage is good, I don't care. Even if it's a bit tropey. That's very pretty as well. It looks pretty clean. Yeah, okay. Is it time? That's good. Let's have an early night. I don't know. That works too. Okay. Me neither, but I think there's some previous context. Oh, that would annoy me. Just leave the room if you're going to read. Let me sleep in the dark. He doesn't need a reason to do that. We wanted to do it with you. You're part of the gang. No, you gotta wake up. No, you fucked up. No. And we got her up. Okay, that's good. Because she said she wanted to see it. Y'all need coffee. That's what y'all need. Honestly. Here it comes. Looks very pretty. One more zoom out, please. But what's the pretty part? There's gonna be something. Exactly. Wow. He did get me after all. No, the other way as well. Because, like, Haito was really excited, and you would have fed off his excitement. That's how that works. Aizen's family? Okay, this is out of nowhere. Well, he doesn't believe that. Yeah. I think you're being far too logical. Hmm. Wow, that guy hit on, like, the good part about religion. Anyway, I'll talk about it. He's got very fucking manly hands. Oh, and he's still praying. Oh. Okay. We're still in the Central Lands. Hello. Asobi. Are those different? I have to go back and check. Oh, pen pals. It's cute. A long, long time. Mm. I don't know, it's believable to me. Oh, we got some fake ones of those. Okay. It's pretty big by the look of that shot. No, like a really big one. Okay. She was very determined there. What, yeah, you're concerned about Fern, right? Well, that's kind of the point of the show. Alright, we're having a look around for some books. Oh, he's powerful, he's cool. Oh, the sour grapes! We did it! Payoff. Insane. Animation's been really cute this episode. They're definitely leaning more on that stuff. Which I don't mind. Well, that sounds like a great lead. Huh? Well, yeah. What does phlegm have to do with that? Oh. Interesting. I think, yeah. I don't know if that's a good idea. I really don't. So that's why he was looking into the notes. Oh. Gotcha. That is a big tree. Okay. Ooh. Well, that's extremely specific. That's amazingly specific. That's okay. Now I'm putting two and two together. Gotcha. And of course, you'd be able to tell. Because you started reading history. Well, there you go. Gotcha. That word as well is... I'm going to read that opening monologue again. Or like the text. Oh yeah, remember we talked about that. Believe in the romance. Ugh. Bloodborne. Like the eyes there too. I like a lot. Gotcha. So is that like an overall direction? So yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay. Just having nightmares. Well, yeah. But you guys won. I remember. Just let us sleep. Sometimes. I don't think that. True. She just does it in her own way, and that's okay. That's very, yeah. It's very flippant. Something about this scene and animating the fuck out of people. Jesus. Wanted to focus on Himmel's face there too. It's kind of interesting. Because I know what she was like before. I'm old as fuck. Where's Redhead Boy? Bring me Redhead Boy or bring me death. Whichever comes first. Alright, we're going north. Yeah. It's almost like we're retracing his footsteps. Oh, look at this Mount Duma shit. Hell yeah. A mere 10-year adventure. Interesting. Okay. I feel like that episode lost a lot of momentum after we learned all that information, probably around 6 or so minutes before the end, where we started to read that book and that kind of stuff. I don't know if you could move things around so that reveal and that scene is closer to the end of the episode, just to leave you like, oh, fuck yeah, I want to see more, like right now. Like, I thought that was in the service of showing us Redhead Boy. But no Redhead Boy to be seen. Which is interesting, considering I thought he was connected to Aizen. Maybe I was just wrong. I don't know. Or we haven't, like, left yet, right? But you would that's like a chapter break. You would imagine there'd be something. I know who the redhead lady is now, though. That's good. And why she's in, like, dramatically different costuming. Cool. Defeating a dragon? Oh shit. And yeah, jumping into a little bit of analysis on episode 4 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. So that was episode 4. I have some misgivings about it, which I'll talk about just structurally. I guess, yeah, probably should have just lumped it in with last week. Probably would have been the best way to do this, but I digress. I've started this portion here at the episode 1, the first episode, because I remember this whole thing, this whole opening text. And now we can clearly see that this is like the end of their adventure, right? So at the northern edge of this continent, we arrived at the place the people of this world call heaven. Oriole? I'm going to say? Like Aurora, that's what I'm kind of getting at. The land where souls rest. Heaven, right? And also, coincidentally, near End, which is, you know, the Demon King castle thing. Just some interesting stuff here, just looking at the map. Brat, I think that's where we were, like just now. So again, like Central Lands. We've just been kind of wandering around here for a little bit, right? I should see where we are as well. Are we over near here? Is that where we are for the New Year's stuff? Oh no, so this is actually from Great Mage Flame. Oh, it was a place where many souls gathered and where I was able to converse with my old comrades. True. So this is like the excerpt from that book almost. So if you go there, you can communicate with the dead. That's cool. That's cool. I hope it's cool. Well, again, story-wise, right? Let's think about it story-wise. It's the representation of Frieren being able to make peace with. So she has regrets right now. I think through the process of doing this journey with another couple of people, she may understand the journey that they took and have a new perspective on it, and then not have such regrets. And then maybe even, you would say in the end, the final progression of a character arc is not wanting to talk with Himmel after everything that they've done. Or talking to Himmel and making it very brief, right? Not apologizing or any of that shit. Or apologizes and then Himmel retorts or something like that, right? That's where I'm seeing the ending of this thing going. And the thing with me as well, like, is this thing done? Is Frieren finished? Maybe that's something I should look up. Now, apparently it's still going, but that doesn't really tell me anything. Because it could be still be going because there's a ton of episodes between here and here. Again, it's a 10-year journey. Or it could be that this isn't the last thing we do and there's more spinning off of that. Again, I just don't know the timescale we're dealing with here. Are we going to complete this journey in 78 episodes or 12? I just don't know. Is it going to act more like To Your Eternity? And again, just blow it out, have these little mini stories and do a bunch of those, but inform a main character journey along that way as well. But either way, we got some information about Ori or whatever that thing was called, and Flam, who we learn is Frieren's master, or original teacher, or whatever. But again, in a very similar way, is a human, eventually died, Frieren existed long beyond this point. You get the gist of what we're doing here. So now I'm back over on episode 4, and yeah, the Grand's channel. I remember something on that map. It was like that little channel. So that's where we are right now. Gotcha. So, this first part of the episode is all about subverting my expectations of what this should be, right? So, we've literally seen this before, like multiple times already in the show's like short run. We present wrecked situation, right? It's a bit messy, blah blah blah, and then it's leading up to it's linking it all into emotional baggage from the past and an emotional moment in the now, and we're going to swell the music, and it's going to look really pretty, and the landscape and the view itself is going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting, right? That's what we've seen so far in the show. The way we subvert that here is excellent. Like, the view itself isn't the star. It's the person that you're journeying along with seeing the view that's the star. And them really enjoying it and getting enjoyment out of somebody else enjoying something. Which I think everybody can relate to at least a little bit. Like, what's a good example? So my friend, my roommate, right? He likes Magic the Gathering. Like, I don't know what that shit is, but he likes Magic the Gathering. He got a big fucking booster box or whatever the fuck, and then he's like, hey, here's 5 packs. You can open 5 packs along with me opening the rest of these packs as well. And then I'll read the things out, and then he goes, oh, that's actually really good. And yeah, it becomes a moment where I don't care about fucking Magic the Gathering, but I've had a great time because he's having a great time. You know what I mean? So that's why that feels good. And I think we're getting across that feeling really well here, and why it's kind of subversive to what the rest of the show has been so far in a really cool way. Do I think the moment-to-moment of this scene in particular is engaging? Kinda. It's fine. It's not blowing me away. It's not the best skit in the show so far, but I like the overall concept. Probably a little bit more than its execution. So quick introductions here. Time passage has passed. Lots of shipwrecks and bullshit on this beach. There's not enough people in town. Not enough strong people in this, I'm guessing, rural and somewhat remote town to go into the water and fix all this stuff without a mage's help, right? Frieren remembers what it was like before and wants to see such a view and wants to understand what she used to not understand about, like, Himmel and the old group, right? That's her motivation here. There's a couple of fun things going on here as well. Fern has obviously been reading up on her history, and the history of these great mages of the past. Frieren flicks through the book. Obviously, she would know firsthand what the handwriting looks like and what her writing style is, and blah, 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 blah. Like, they both understand in this moment that it's a fake. The only thing is, Frieren has different reasons for being here. And Fern, understandably, is like, well, shit, we're going to be here a while because this has literally happened before. Again, lines like this, just building upon Like it becomes way more interesting once we learn who this character is and their connection to Frieren, and it would probably only become more and more interesting as we continue. I really like this type of storytelling, right? You introduce a few random esoteric terms in the world, and then you pay them off later. It makes the earlier episodes upon a rewatch fantastic, right? You pick up new things that you didn't think were there initially. That's why good plot writing is important. You can definitely tell the passage of time through the weather, so it looked kind of fucky in like the overcast nature and the beach not exactly like shining. You could probably infer that it was sometime in fall, probably mid-fall, something like that. Autumn for the Australian viewers in the chat. But yeah, now it's snowing. It's close to Christmas, somewhere around there. New Year's not that far away. And again, this informs the main conceit of this part of the story, which is that it's cold and people are going to want to sleep in when it's cold, which, again, I can't relate to right this moment, but I can definitely relate to overall. So again, you're out somewhat early in the morning, getting bread, getting food for the day. Frieren's still in bed, obviously was reading, book fell on face, still asleep. The only thing that's weird to me, did she kick all of her covers off? Because I do this kind of stuff as well. The amount of times I have to make my bed, Jesus. And again, I think this episode in particular is buoyed by a lot of cute animation, right? Like that stuff. And like there. Thanks, Mom. And again, the height difference getting more and more pronounced as we continue. So this episode, and I guess the character of Frieren, is really executed quite well. So she's got these moments of... they endear you to her character, right? She's moving slowly, it's cold, we can relate. I now empathize with this character in this moment, perhaps I will empathize with this character in the future. That's all well and good, but we use it in a plot sense as well. It is important to the story that this content is here, right? Because it's her learning a lesson, or wanting to learn a lesson from her past, which is the other major concept of the show. That's just fantastic. Like, again, upon a rewatch, you just see a lot of this stuff, right? We bring it up here. There was only really one time in the past that the whole crew got upset at me missing out on something by not waking up early. They just understood that that was me most of the time, but there was one time in particular that perhaps I'm like atoning for right now. Haita would get upset sometimes, which is weird considering he's like the drinking one. You'd think he would be like hungover as well. I love how much more awake she is at like she's eating dinner right now, like around 6 o'clock. She's so awake when like the rest of the time it's just like a normal cold morning and she just can't get up. We start getting a lot of the exposition here around the New Year's festival and watching the sunrise and that kind of stuff and what happened in the past and how we're informing that here today. As always with the show, we have a musical montage in the middle of this sequence. Again, it does a lot of the... So, okay. What does a montage do? A montage tells you the passage of time and a thing changing, or a process happening, right? It's to get across multiple concepts in a short amount of time. It's meant to bombard you with ideas and eventually reach some kind of conclusion. And to Frieren specifically, it lets you show off your music. So, again, musical montage. It gets across the passage of time, Frieren the show. It makes perfect sense that they would use such a technique, is my point. Like finding, like, buried pirate treasure in, like, a pirate skull man or something. Like, again, like, it's just good. Like, this chest, it's actually just full of fucking seaweed. Oh no, I thought it was going to be treasure. The character acting's really good here. Even, like, that was 30 seconds of content, barely. But it was really good. It was really good. I was happy when that was on screen. So Frieren gets invited to the New Year's festival now that they've cleaned up everything just in time. To the shock of Fern, Frieren agrees to show up. She's going to show up very early in the morning at sunrise to this thing so she can see the sunrise over the ocean and it look all pretty and stuff, right? Again, to atone for what happened before. And the line there as well, I'm interested because I'm not interested, right? That's why I want to see it. Because Himmel, as we see in this scene very shortly, like, he knew that I would enjoy seeing it. And he knows me very well, as we've seen from the other parts of the show. So why would I want to see this? Becomes like the central question, I guess, as VLC kind of dies. So yeah, we pan back to the time mentioned before, the one time that they were really mad at me for not getting up. You left Haita bedridden, the big baby. He really wanted to see you see the sunrise for some reason. And here's the thing, right? It's just the sunrise. I doubt I'd enjoy it very much. And she's right. In the end, it's just the sunrise, and she didn't really enjoy it very much. I think unfortunately here is where we run into a few of our pacing issues. I just wish we got to the sunrise a little bit quicker. I don't know how you do that, but you should be able to do that. I don't know, it just doesn't jive with me. But that's fine. Like, it's ultimately fine. It's the first half of, like, one skit. So Frieren, much to her disgust, has to fall asleep. So that's just going to double up the tiredness because she elected to stay up and then fell asleep. So now she's going to be super fucking tired. What she should have done, right, is either go all the way through and make sure you go all the way through, or sleep very early. Those are the two ways you should do this. However, I love Fern's reaction. Oh, Frieren's asleep. Oh no, Frieren's asleep, and then has to like pick her up and yeah, help her. Yeah, something about that in bed to that one scene where she was like walking to the thing to just seeing the sunrise. Even again, like the music tells you, the sunrise isn't the point. We've now seen the sunrise. It's pretty, but it wasn't worth waking up for. And then you hear out for the musical cue when we look at Fern's face. Yeah, Frieren, it's beautiful. But you seem to be enjoying yourself a little, right? That's because you're smiling. And then she looks at the thing, and then she smiles herself. Yeah, enjoying somebody's hobbies or what they like by proxy is also enjoyable if you like the person. Very cool. The joy itself is infectious. And yeah, you wouldn't have been able to see this sunrise with this person right here, right now, through their eyes, if I'd been here on my own. And that's what journeying with somebody is all about, which is what we kind of talk about towards this end of the episode. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a very, very short skit at the very start. I think it's executed quite well. I think there's a couple pacing issues, but mostly I really like the concept, and I think it's executed to a relatively high level. This one here, I feel similarly has pacing issues. I feel like it really peaks about like here, and here, and a little bit back here. Like all this, and a bit before here. Here, yeah, all through here. Really peaks. It's really good. The rest of the stuff here, the conversation with Eisen and Fern, I don't really like. I get it, but did it need to be as long as it was? Probably not. And then yeah, like we even end on like this a little shot here of the funeral pyres or whatever the fuck we're calling these. Anyway, I just feel like the momentum is sucked out of it a little bit here. But again, mostly fine. It's nitpicky stuff. Now that we saw those kind of funeral pyre things as well, we can see these ones are way lower in the past, and they get built upon as more and more people see them. Very early in this segment, we jump into, I guess, the major conceit of what we're talking about going forward. The afterlife, heaven, communication there within. Does heaven exist? Does it matter if heaven exists? If what I believe would be nice for the... Listen, okay, we're going to talk a lot about religion here, right? I think, in general, people don't understand religion in the way they should understand religion, right? There's too much being caught up in, is it actually real? Is it actually fake? You're stupid for believing this. You're not stupid for believing this. Blah, 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 blah. I think what's important with religion, and what's important with specifically my knowledge, right, which is Christianity, like that's less about the overall like story and its events and the plotting, and more about the overall moral and the concepts and that kind of things. And you can pick and choose what you want. Just because I believe that one Bible verse is like cool and good and a good thing to live your life by doesn't mean I need to interpret the whole book that way. This is the same thing here, right? Just because I know personally right now, based on science and everything else, heaven probably doesn't exist, an afterlife probably doesn't exist, I can't communicate with these people. Isn't it nice to believe that? Isn't it nice to think that that's where they are, in this place where they're having a good time and, you know, everything's all good? Because these are the people I care about. And I think, even though, like, whatever, it may be fake, who cares? I think it's a nicer way to live to believe it. I don't know, I very much agree with Heiter's take here, and I love that everyone else gets on board with it. I wonder how much further we're going to take this concept. Frieren's lines here hit kind of different after her reading this book by Flem as well, right? Because she's like, it can't be proven or disproven that there is an afterlife, so I choose not to believe, because it hasn't been proven yet. And yeah, Himmel and Heiter on a similar page here. It doesn't matter if it exists or not, right? Should, yeah, all these people in life doing their best, should they have nothingness awaiting them? Or is it nicer to believe that they're in a good place? Is that nice? I think that's nice. And taking upon these concepts is Eisen in the past, and then Eisen in the present, right? With a few character design changes, a few more wrinkles, still believing the same experience that they had along with the old gang. Again, I don't know much about Japanese, but I guess the casual nature of the way Frieren says we're going to hang out is funny. I heard the word asobi, which is I understand is like we're going to play. I'm here to play again. That's fun. It's like, yeah, you act like it hasn't been 30 years. Like you've just wandered over and, visited for the day. And yeah, as we see, these have grown larger, as we see in the last shot of the episode as well. First line by Eisen, I didn't think you would take on an apprentice, which is something we talk about later as well. And then we move into, hey, Eisen, do you need anything? It's like, well, that's the same thing you asked a Haita. How do you know that? Because we're cute pen pals. Just nice stuff. We get into our exposition. We're in the Vol Basin, and we're looking for these old writings, this kind of grimoire of phlegm. And Haita has good info on it, and he's passed that to Eisen, and now we're going to look for it. And ultimately, it's all about you and making you feel better, Frieren. So an interesting connection in the episode is the mentioning of this name Phlegm 2 different times. So what's strange to me is that why doesn't Frieren know exactly where it is, or at least have a pretty good indicator? We'll start by searching for a large tree. Like, she's from here, right? Or at least studied here for a long time. She should know the area. Or is it because there's too many fucking trees now that she doesn't know? But I guess, yes, she knows to look for a large tree because she planted that one tree 1,000 years ago, right? So now, by that knowledge, if everything stayed equal the way it was, that one tree will now be encasing this whole building. Great background gag here as well. So, like, we're going to start by searching for a large tree in this giant forest. That sounds like a long time. I want to get a move on. I don't want to stick around here for another 6 months, like I have been every other episode. But again, concerned about Fern, right? Fern wouldn't like that, so I'll try to finish quickly. Relatively quickly, right? Fern doesn't hear that, rubs her face, is determined. Anyway, let's search the area as efficiently as possible. She's going to do it regardless, even if she doesn't think it's a totally good idea. At that same point, Eisen says, you've changed. You didn't used to be concerned about these kind of things. Like, literally. And I think we use a throwaway line there. Fern is scary when she's mad. No, I just think you've changed your tune a little bit, and you're trying to, I guess, make up for old errors, old mistakes. Another great musical montage with a lot of great moments in it, including this great moment, which was set up very well earlier in the story. Very cool. This pays off for people that are paying attention, like me. He's kind of fast, though. Oh yeah, dwarfs are natural sprinters, of course. Because he was running on water there. Oh shit. Even there's more cute little animation as, they're both struggling to get out of bed, like shaking her head. Fern spots a large tree over to the west, and we make our way over there. We asked the question of Eisen, why did you decide to look for Phlegm's notes? Because I felt sorry for you. I felt sorry for you and Himmel. I remember seeing you on that day 30 years ago, and you wishing that you'd gotten to know Himmel better. And Phlegm's notes, they're all about communication with the dead. That's just a fairy tale, and anyway, I didn't want to see him. All magic started as fairy tales. You change your tune on this pretty quickly and basically say, whatever, it's a destination, we'll go there, why not? So there's a lot of things running into this. Of course, there's the inciting incident I'm going to say for the whole story now, which is Himmel's funeral, right? That's being referenced here, that's got emotional weight to it. There's the relationship with Eisen, and by proxy, Haita, right? That's got emotional weight into this. And now we have the stuff with Flam from the very, very long past, like way long ago. That's got emotional weight into this as well. Like, we're packing the main conceit of what I'm imagining the main conceit of the story. We're packing that in with a lot of meaning, which I'm enjoying. This little line to herself as well, even after 1,000 years, I'm still dancing in the palm of my master's hand. And then we get this flashback. How's that little sapling going to keep watch? Once it grows, it'll still be protecting this place 1,000 years from now, says Flam. She puts some stupid magic on the tree, so it's going to be protecting this place. You'll be dead by then. But you won't be. Yeah, she's very fun. I like her a lot. Someday you'll make a terrible mistake and wish you'd gotten to know people better. That's very specific. That's almost cartoonishly specific. But anyway, and when that happens in particular, right? When you come to your senses emotionally, at least a little bit, come to this place, and then I, the legendary mage Phlegm, will help you. So yeah, even after all this time, I'm still dancing in her hand. And it's animated really well to boot. Yeah, so she said this, and how it actually came to fruition, that's a little bit weird. Are those Flem's notes, are they real? Of course they're real. And now we know early part of the episode why you would understand why they're real. She was your old master. So Flem's the legendary mage and an ancient hero who's written about in magical history. So maybe she is prehistoric after all. Oh god. So again, more and more weight put on this. You've actually been reading up on your history based on episode 3. We love that. Does it say anything about speaking to the dead? It's already open to that very page. Like she knew it's what I would be looking for this book for. You know what I mean? On the northernmost end of the continent, I arrived at the place the people of this world call heaven, Oriol, the place where souls rest. Or the land where souls rest. Many souls gather there, and I spoke with friends who once fought alongside me. This discovery of the century will propel research on souls forward. Do you suppose it exists? Well, I'm kind of unsure based on her character. Then, very, very specifically, Eisen goes, heaven exists. It's more convenient if it does, bringing the initial concept of this part of the episode back as well, which we love. Actually taking on these words of Haita and starting to believe them. Like, this has become integral to his set of values now. You know? And you're right, perhaps I should believe in it for once. And yeah, it turns out we have to go to a fucking Bloodborne city if we're going to go there as well. So the Demon King's castle is located there. That's the journey we made ages ago. We have to repeat that journey all the way to end. Beyond Journey's End is heaven, right? Literally. And yeah, we have to go to this spooky, dark, cold place if we want to get to heaven. Look at it, it looks fucking cool. So yeah, like, again, most of the show that we've seen thus far has been about retracing footsteps and doing all that kind of stuff, right? With the old gang. And now we literally get to do that on the same old journey that they were doing before. It lets us continue to tell our parallel story and continue to make inferences there, to present something that happened in the past, which we can play off of in the present, right? It also gives like value to all the story setup we've seen before, all the way to talking with the dead, conversing there. What's our overall, I guess, judgment on that concept going to be? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Do we need to do that? Was the journey more than the destination? I don't know. We're going to have to see. But the plot writing in this show continues to be amazing. Like, everything thus far has been kind of leading to this, and everything has meaning because of it. So even if Frieren obviously doesn't want to go right now, she will go eventually. At least it's a destination. I like particularly this part where she's yelling out for mom in her dreams, and you're like the mother character. There's a lot of reverence here given by Eisen as well. We went through a lot on that journey. We went through a lot in specifically End, that location, right? And then doesn't speak again. I don't want to speak on it to somebody that's not in it like we were in it. As a result, the situation gets awkward, and then Fern goes to wake up Frieren. Is she a good master? Well, that's a hard question. It's a good question. All she does is drag me around while she searches for magic, but she does seem interested in getting to know Mr. Himmel and his companions. Perhaps she's not very interested in me. After all, she only took me in as a promise to Haita. But she's a strange person. After we started traveling together, she started giving me birthday presents. Normally she seems so disinterested, so I wonder what she's thinking. She's so strange. Maybe Eisen can relate to this a little bit as well. And again, like, we see a lot of things from Frieren's perspective, so we know what she's thinking, but that may not always be outwardly portrayed in the way she wants it to be portrayed. We flash back here to see, again, progress, to compare and contrast the past and the present. Eisen asking if she's going to take on an apprentice. Traveling is better when you have somebody to talk to. It's a waste of time. Even if I taught them, they'll die in no time. That's terrible. Also, what's the deal with elves in this world? Is there, like, more elves? Are they, like, really rare? What's going on there? Anyway, I'm sure we'll know in due time. But yeah, notably cold, right? Like, very, very cold here. And then this face from Himmel, right? Even if I taught an apprentice, they'd be dead in no time. To her perspective, would be dead in no time as well. He's coming to that realization here a little bit as well. That's not how relationships work, Frieren. My adventure with you wasn't even 1/100th of my life. Surely you would understand that as well, Eisen. you know, you've got a longer lifespan as well. And then height is the one to bring back up the mood. And yeah, we leave it there in the past, and yeah, shit, maybe she's actually learnt something here. She never would have taken an apprentice normally. She's a good master, she actually cares about you, because I know what she was like before. So Eisen's not coming on the journey because he believes that he would only get in the way. Again, he's pretty old now, I don't think he would get in the way, but again, it's Frieren's new journey now. We say a bunch of things about how we're going to get to the end region as well, which I'm sure we'll go through in due time. Sorry to ask you to do this, it'll be a long journey. It'll be 10 years, we say to Fern here, which is interesting for my timescale stuff. And yeah, we'll be following the same path as Himmel, when he went and took out the Demon King's castle and all that shit. Frieren thinks back on the journey, remembers the last steps they took right up to the entrance to the Demon King's castle. It'll be a mere 10-year adventure. Nothing to me, everything to you. You know? And yeah, into the ED. Very, very cool. I can't wait till we get lyrics again for this kind of stuff, so I can go back through it, which I'm imagining will be next week. So again, where's my red-headed boy? I need a red-headed boy, please. Can we get one? The other thing is, now we've got a general structure. And again, is this going to be done in 70 trillion episodes, or 12? I don't know. Like, are we going to finish that by the end of the season? I don't know. Is there going to be more characters? I don't know. Again, and I don't want to know, don't tell me. It'll be interesting to see how time progresses as we move forward, considering we've been pretty flippant in the 4 episodes so far. But again, there's a lot to mine from the concept of retreading this same journey. Again, the structure won't be that dissimilar from what we've done already, only with more specific stuff on their journey to the Demon King's castle. Yeah, that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's it for this week. I had a really good time here today. I thought the episode was quite nice. We've definitely got direction now that we're going. We haven't met everybody yet, obviously. I'm still waiting to meet some characters. But I was impressed at the plot structure this episode. I was impressed at how much meaning is already put into this journey and what we're doing, and how basically every character in the show and their motivations is fueling it. Again, it's obviously written by somebody that's very, very smart and understands how this kind of stuff works, and is very enjoyable because of that. As well as that, the show's just produced really well, uses a musical montage to a great effect, and like, the pacing is a little bit sometimes, but that's really my only criticism so far in the first 4 episodes, which have been largely 2 thumbs up. Very, very good. I'm very, very interested to see where we go from here. And yeah, we'll do that next week. We'll see about how many episodes. If somebody could start to tell me some stopping point stuff from here, that would be great. But other than that, we'll continue next week and see where we go from here. Just some chill stuff. So if you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord, join Discord. Love Discord, 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 Discord. And yeah, we're closing out on Frieren episode 4 here today. Looking forward to more. And I'll catch you guys next week for such a thing. Cheerio.